when I was in Australia, I missed my family terribly, and I used to Skype them once a week. You know this thing of Skype where you can see each other through your computer screens? It makes home feel that little bit closer, I think, if you can see people's faces as well as hear their voices. And they'd sit around their computer, my mum, dad, my sister, in a semicircle once a week. And at the end of every call, they'd lean in and kiss the webcam, which was lovely, but terrifying the first time it happened. Like, I know my sister knows about computers. I know my dad used to work with computers, but I'm pretty sure my mum doesn't really know how it works. I know that she definitely doesn't know that I can still see her face, even when I'm not talking to her. Because I'd talk to my mum, then I'd move on to my sister, and I'd go, how's work? And my mum would do this. But I used to Skype my boyfriend as well, and I Skyped him every day. And I work, away from... there'll be people in this room tonight who work away from home, and I don't think it gets any easier the more you do it. I ended up being in Australia for 6 weeks, and midway through, I just got quite flat and quite sad, and just really wanted to go home. And on one of those days when I rang my boyfriend, when his face came up on the screen, there was such a well of emotion in here that the first thing I said to him wasn't hello. The first thing I said was, you're too far away. Aww. So he moved the webcam. I didn't have the heart to tell him I meant geographically. He just got the laptop and went like that. Is that better, love? Bless him. But whenever I spend time with my sister, we always go shopping, because my sister's a really good influence on me. For example, if I buy makeup, I always buy cheap makeup, because if I buy cheap makeup, I can buy more makeup. That's how my mind works. My friend said to me the other day, she said, I like that glittery eyeliner you've got on. Where'd you get that from? I said, just from Asda. She said, really? I said, yeah. I said, it smarts a bit, but it was only £4. But my sister said, why don't we just buy one thing that's good quality, a bit more expensive, and will last? I said, that's a good idea. So I bought a blusher. And you know how makeup, all the colours have names these days, don't they? My blusher is called Orgasm. I was like, why does it have to be called Orgasm? Why can't it just be fucking peach? Peach. It would be more fun if makeup was a little swearier, though, wouldn't it? I like your nail varnish, thanks very much. It's called Shittin' Red. But my sister was determined to embarrass me in front of our parents, and she went, tell Dad what your blusher's called. No. Tell Dad what your blusher's called. No. I said, look, we're 35 and 41. Are you really going to reduce us to children? She went, tell Dad what your blusher's called. I said, right, shut up, I'll tell him. So I said, Dad, he's going to limber up for this kind of conversation. I said, Dad, he went, uh-huh. I went, me blusher? My blusher's called Orgasm. And he thought he'd do a funny joke, and he said, when you put it on, does it make your face do this? And I went, whoa! Whatever you're about to do, you must never do when I am there. God.
Hello, I'm Sarah Millican, and thanks very much for watching my videos. I'm going on tour with a brand new show called Bobby Dazzler. For all the information about where I'm going and when, go to sarahmillican.co.uk. Thanks!